Hey guys, real quick, I forgot to mention this is going to be a tag video. I don't know why I forgot it, but I'm going to tag Tyrone over at BroSense, Hunter at your channel, Keith at The Fragrant Life, and then Pedro Styles. I want to know what your top 10 most worn fragrances for 2020 were. Sorry I forgot to include that on the original video, but I'm doing this before, so surprise, you guys are tagged. All right, let me know. What's up, fragrant family? This is Tyler with Simply Fragrances, and today I'm bringing you my top 10 most worn fragrances of 2020. Now, these aren't necessarily my favorites or anything like that, not my top picks. These are just the ones that I wore the most throughout the year of 2020. I am going to do a follow-up video similar to this. I'm going to title it My Favorite Picks of 2020. So keep in mind for that. Should be a top 10 video, maybe a couple honorable mentions. I just gotta wait for a fragrance to come in the mail. It's in the mail, it's here on its way. So once it gets here, I'll be able to do that because I've been really looking forward to getting this fragrance and can't wait for it. But today, these are my top 10 most worn fragrances. So these are in no particular order. I mean, I know I do my fragrance rotation and stuff like that, but I don't keep track of this is my 87th time of wearing this fragrance, and this is my 42nd of wearing this one, my 27th of this. These are just ones that I reached for the most, and these are just ones that I found myself wearing a lot of. So like I said, no particular order. Let's go ahead and get into it. So first one on the list, like I said, no particular order. This one, man, it is just a Swiss Army knife. It is an amazing date night fragrance. It's an essential office fragrance. Like if you don't have this for the office, you need to get it. I love this stuff. This is John Varvatos, or Varvatos, however you want to say it, the original. And I love this stuff. This stuff, man, it's how a gentleman should smell. I say this all the time. This is how a gentleman should smell. It's fresh, it's a little dark, it's a little spicy, it's seductive, it's sweet, it's a Swiss Army knife. It's a workhorse. It does the job. Love this stuff. John Varvatos original. Now, next on the list, this one is one of my newer inquiries to my collection, but I reach for it all the time. I have to ground myself from wearing it, and it's just become one of my all-time favorites, and it'll be on my favorite video. But the next on the list, this comes from the house of Parfums de Marly, and it might surprise you, it's not Herod, it's Godolphin. Love this stuff. This stuff is an essential, like, oh my gosh, I get goosebumps almost. Like, this stuff is amazing. This is an essential leather fragrance. If you love leather, you need to have this fragrance. If you haven't got it, just check it out. I mean, I personally think if you like leather fragrance, this is perfectly blind buy worthy. It's blind buy safe, but if you're trying to get into it, get you a sample of it. Get on some YouTube fragrance reviews, watch them, watch my review on it, get into some Facebook groups. There's people out there who are, selling decants of it, samples of it. You got to get this stuff. Parfums de Marly, Godolphin. Next on the list, I've had this one for a little bit, got this back in the springtime, and what a wonderful time to get this stuff. I love it. Actually, I got it more in the summertime, but this is, yeah, I got this in the summertime, sorry. I got this in the summertime. I love this stuff. I wore it so freaking much. I had to ground myself from wearing it just so I could get other fragrances in the rotation. But this is Bond Number 9, Bleecker Street. Love this stuff. Oh my gosh. I've said multiple times this is signature scent worthy, and I stand behind that. This blueberry, just vanilla, green cut, fresh grass, woody amazingness. This is a quintessential spring and fall fragrance. If you haven't got your nose on it, definitely recommend it. Go check my review on it, and you'll see my thoughts on it. Love it. Wore it all the time. Now this one, this is kind of weird. So I wore it a lot when I had it, and then I wound up swapping it, and I instantly regretted it. And I got my same exact bottle back. So I got it from the same guy. I swapped it to, he was kind enough to let me buy it back from him. So I did that. So shout out to you, John. But none other, Creed Aventus. Yes, yours and my favorite. Not really my favorite, but everyone knows Creed Aventus. Love this stuff. Oh my gosh, this is 19P01, and this stuff is amazing. Doesn't look like there's a dent in it, but honestly, with this stuff, it's so strong and powerful. I do like 2 sprays tops, so I mean, it's good stuff, and it's finally starting to tint a little bit, which I'm really excited about. So Creed Aventus, wore that a lot in the summertime, and then once I've gotten it back, I've worn it quite a few times too. So Creed Aventus is definitely on the list. Let's go with this bad boy. This one I got not super long ago, but I've kind of put quite a dent in it, and just for how many fragrances I have, for me to wear it this much and me to talk about it and hype it up, I love it. So this is a Haroff signature pour home. This is the 60 ml. I'm honestly thinking about just getting the 100. This stuff is amazing. If you guys haven't watched my review on it, go check it out. It's my first impressions. If you don't know who this is, George Zaharoff. He's the creator of this, and it's an amazing fragrance. He's a good buddy of mine. We talk, often, not like every day or anything like that, but I've talked with him quite a few times. He's a just outright upstanding man, great integrity. Go check his stuff out, Zaharoff. All right, so I'm gonna do this. Once I've done, I'm gonna put over here so that way I don't confuse myself of what's next. I should have been doing that. Okay, so just got a couple left here. So, all right, next on the list, this is one of my wife's all-time favorites. I love it. I wear it a lot in the winter, in the fall and springtime. I wore it a lot the beginning of this year, and this is Yves Saint Laurent L'Homme. I love this stuff. It's such an amazing fragrance. It's a sweet, spicy, gingery, fresh, little kind of powder fragrance. Man, it's so good. I love this stuff. When I very first smelled this, man, it gave me goosebumps. I think I got this back in like 2018 or very early part of 2019, and I love this stuff. This stuff is amazing. Like I said, my wife really enjoys it. I really enjoy it. Yves Saint Laurent L'Homme. Next on the list, this is now what she says is her favorite fragrance that I have in my entire collection. So I got this not too long ago. I've always loved it. I just never got around to getting it for some reason, and so finally I did. I'm glad I did because my wife loves it. I love it. I've wore it so many times just around the house and just going to do errands and stuff like that. I've wore it to the office, or I shouldn't say office, but I wore it to work, and I get a lot of compliments on it. This was my Thanksgiving Day fragrance, so if you guys check that out, y'all know what I'm talking about. Boom, this is Boss Bottled number 6, Hugo Boss Bottle number 6. This is an amazing, amazing apple spiced, apple pie type fragrance. A lot of cinnamon, a lot of apple on here. Really fresh, really easy to wear. Super good. Honestly, it reminds me of the 90s. This was made in like 96, I think. And it just kind of has that 90s vibe to it. I don't know if that makes any kind of sense, but it just reminds me of the 90s, growing up in the 90s. So yeah, Boss Bottle number 6. That leaves us with 3. Like I said, these are in no particular order, but I will save the one that I wore, that I know I wore the most, for last. So next on the list, I did wear this quite a bit, and I haven't talked about it too much just because it is, I don't know, just a special fragrance. I wore it to a couple feast days. I do the feast days of the Bible, so I wore it to a couple feast days. I've wore it to work a couple times just when it's cold. I love this stuff. This is Jubilation 25 by Awash. I love this stuff. Honey and blackberry is the main factors you get into this, and I had to, it doesn't look like I wore it, but honestly, one spray does it. So if this was completely full, doesn't look like it's used much, but one spray does it for me. This stuff is just beast mode on my skin. Super thick, heavy, and just loud off my skin. So I've probably wore it, I don't know, 7, 8, 9 times, something like that. And man, it's beast. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but I have a lot of fragrances, guys. I have a lot of fragrances. So next on the list, this is another one that I swapped, wound up instantly regretting, and I got it back in my collection. But whenever I did have it for that first part of the year, in the first part of 2020, man, I wore the crap out of this. This is not the same bottle, unfortunately. I do have a different bottle, but I love it just as much. This is Creed Viking. This stuff, this is an 18G01. Oh my gosh, it's so good. I had a 17W01, and it was a little bit lighter than this. This one is actually a lot darker than the fragrance I had before. You can see how tinted that is. I don't know if it's just because it's set for a while or whatnot, or if it's just 18 batches. I know the 18 batches, especially in the Creed vintage side, tend to run a little bit more darker, birchy, black currant. So maybe that's just kind of what they were doing back in 2018. But this stuff is amazing. I did wear this to work last Friday, and man, everyone said I smell like a boss, and that's exactly how I feel when I wear this. I wore this to an interview, got the job. Man, this stuff just works. I love this stuff. Creed Viking. And last but not least, if you're an OG on this channel, if you've been with me since pretty much the beginning, you know how much I love this. You know how much I've hyped it up. I mean, I see it kind of being hyped up again in the fragrance community, which is good. I'm not saying I had anything to do with that. I don't think I did. But the stuff is starting to make its rounds again, and people are talking about it. Man, I love this stuff. This is my Swiss Army knife. This is my go-to, my workhorse, my all year round, my banger, I love this stuff. This is definitely going to be on my top 10 favorites of 2020. This is Montblanc Starwalker. Sounds dumb, just a $25 fragrance, but my God, this stuff is good. Like, whew, man, I don't know what I love about this so much. I don't know if it's the bamboo, if it's the citrus, if it's the tangerine. I don't know. I love this stuff. It's so good, guys. This stuff is just magical. It's a must-have, in my opinion. If you don't have this, you've never smelt it, literally spend the $25, get you a full bottle. It only comes in 2 ounces, I think. It's like 2.5. Yeah, it's a 2.5. It's the biggest they make. I wish they made a gallon of it, because then I would never run out. But you can see I literally got this at the beginning of this year, and I have so many fragrances. This is almost empty now. That's how much I've wore it. I love it. I wear it around the house. I wear it to bed. I wear it just out of the shower, just to put on my shirt before I go places. I spray it in my fan at night, so that way it fills the room, just to like give me like that kind of relaxing vibe. The bamboo in here is super relaxing. So I love this stuff, guys. Montblanc Starwalker. This is my gym. I don't know. I might just have, I wish there was a button. I just put it right here and carry it with me at all times. This stuff is so good. All right, guys. Well, that is my top 10 most fragrance worn of 2020. These are the fragrances that I wore the most. Not necessarily my favorite. Obviously, Montblanc Starwalker. Love it. But all these other ones, those are the ones that I reached for the most. I did wear a lot of other ones, but these ones I kept coming back to, and they kept making it in my fragrance rotations. So yeah. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for this video. Like, share, subscribe, comment down below what you liked, what you don't like, what you wore a lot of this year, and remember, if you love it, wear it.